Okay, so did you know your brain actually processes tens of thousands of thoughts every single day? It's literally wild. But have you ever stopped to wonder why you do the things you do or, say the things you say? Well, in today's explainer, we're diving into an incredible secret from our source material. Your brain is actually the steering wheel for your entire life. It teaches us that our minds aren't just empty rooms where stuff randomly happens. No way. Our minds are these incredibly powerful engines. And just like you can hit the gym and train your body to get stronger, you can absolutely train your brain. So think about a time you accidentally said something kind of hurtful or selfish to a friend. Or maybe a time you complained and didn't even mean to. Let's trace those words all the way back to their hidden starting line, which is your thoughts. I mean, your mouth doesn't just invent words on its own, right? Nope. Before a word ever leaves your lips, it starts out as an invisible thought inside your head. So if we want our words to be good and helpful, we have to inspect the factory where they're made. And that factory is your brain. And this brings us right to this super crucial point found in Psalm 19, verse 14. It says, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight." If we want our words to be helpful to our friends and pleasing to heaven, our thoughts absolutely have to be pure first. Think about it like this. You can't pour clean, refreshing water out of a pitcher that's full of mud. It's just not going to happen. In the exact same way, you can't speak kind, acceptable words if your mind is filled with selfish or mean thoughts. The whole shebang starts on the inside. Now, you might be hearing that word meditation from the verse and picturing someone sitting on the floor, humming with their legs crossed. But when the text talks about the meditation of the heart, it really just means those thoughts you replay over and over again. It's kind of like having a catchy song stuck in your head. Meditating simply means to deeply think about something, letting your mind hang out and dwell on a specific idea. So the big question we have to ask ourselves is, what song is your brain playing on repeat right now? It's fascinating when you look at the massive difference between our brain's default setting and the upgraded version. The natural, selfish mind acts a lot like a broken operating system. It just follows evil desires and wants what it wants, right now, completely lacking any high motives. But there is a total game changer available. The Spirit of God can give you a massive software update, producing a brand new life inside you. This makes it so your thoughts and desires actually obey Christ and are guided by the Spirit. And listen, here is some seriously exciting news. If you are young, you have a massive advantage. You can start training your brain like a muscle right now to build correct, healthy mental habits. The source specifically emphasizes starting early to cultivate your thoughts. Think about a river. If you dig a good, deep channel early on, the water flows safely exactly where it's supposed to go. If you start building those good thought channels right now, it's going to be so much easier to keep your mind off evil things as you grow up. But here's the catch. We actually can't upgrade our minds all by ourselves. The text makes it super clear that this is all about teamwork. As God works on your heart through His Holy Spirit, you have to team up with Him. You have to actively cooperate. God is the one supplying the power and the new life, sure, but you are the one who has to actually grab the steering wheel and choose what you allow your mind to dwell on every single day. Okay, so how do we practically do this? It basically turns into a 3-step workout routine for your mind. First step, you have to catch those bad, selfish thoughts the second they try to sneak in. Second, you swap them out by reading the Bible. And third, you actively choose to think about Jesus. You're essentially training your brain to reject the mental junk food and feast on healthy, life-giving thoughts instead. To push out those selfish desires, we have to fill our minds with way better things. We get this incredible list to focus on. We should think about the eternal salvation found in the scriptures. We should dwell on the infinite mercy and love of Jesus, the massive sacrifice He made on our behalf, His amazing character, and the whole plan of salvation. When your brain is completely stuffed full of these awesome things, there literally isn't any room left for the selfish stuff. Let's zoom in on one of the coolest parts of that list. The source tells us to specifically dwell upon the mission of Him who came to save His people from their sins. Think of it like the most epic rescue mission in history. Jesus is the ultimate hero who came to save us. By constantly focusing our thoughts on His rescue mission, we give our brain the absolute best possible material to work with. It keeps us grateful, humble, and just totally amazed by His love. And here is the amazing payoff for all this mental discipline. When you constantly focus on these heavenly themes, it's like watching your internal meters for faith and love level up to the max. The text tells us that by dwelling on these things, our faith and love rapidly grow.
You aren't just memorizing facts, you're actually increasing your real-world capacity to trust God and to genuinely love other people. Because your thoughts have completely changed, even the way you talk to God changes. Your prayers become so much more intelligent, acceptable, and full of confident faith. When your mind is trained on heavenly things, your prayers stop being just a selfish list of gimme, gimme, gimme. Instead, they become fervent, super passionate, and real, mixed with that brand new faith and love you just leveled up. You start praying in a way that truly connects.
The result of all this mental training is just absolutely amazing. You won't just know about Jesus from some dusty textbook. You will have a daily, living experience of his willingness and power to save. Every single day, you'll actually see how he helps you catch those bad thoughts, how he helps you speak kind words, and how he's actively working in your life right now. It turns your faith into a living, breathing adventure. Eventually, focusing your mind on Jesus creates a feeling inside you that's as strong as physical hunger and thirst. You just want to be exactly like the hero you've been thinking about. I mean, have you ever admired someone so much you wanted to talk like them and do what they do? The source says that when you adore Jesus and keep your thoughts on him, your soul will literally hunger and thirst to be made just like him. So this all builds to the ultimate chain reaction. It goes exactly like this. First, you train your mind to think upon Christ. Second, those pure thoughts naturally spill over into wonderful words, and you start speaking of him to others. And third, through your words and actions, you end up perfectly representing him to everyone around you. You literally become a reflection of Jesus to the world. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really look at your own mental habits and ask yourself a huge question. If your thoughts are the steering wheel for your words and your actions, what direction are you driving today? Are you letting your mind wander off into the muddy ditch of selfish desires, or are you teaming up with God to steer towards something amazing? You have the power to take the wheel right now. Where are you going to drive?